Okay, good morning to all of you. So today, let us know about executing the first lab program and understanding a lab environment. So in my previous lab session, I think there was only one batch where I have given some informations about the Android framework. Okay, maybe today all of you are there. Maybe just I would like to revise once. Okay, so before I go further, okay. Okay, see, actually, are you able to see the screen contents clearly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fine, fine. Okay,
Yes, sir.
see, the version which we are using Android Studio framework is 4.1. And once you install in Windows or in Mac or any other kind of operating systems, so in the developer.android.com, so you can have this specific softwares that get downloaded. So once you install your Android, the software into your systems, and when you start something like this, it will be there. Uh, be See, you can see here there is an Android Studio framework. Okay, so you have to click on this icon. Okay, so once it get installed, so you will have this specific icon in your system. So once you start that, it will ask you for new application. Okay, so in this case, it is welcome, and you can leave the company name. Automatically, it will take your the domain credentials of your laptop. Okay, then project locations by default it will give you a path. Okay, and in this case there are two actually flavors. One is Java and other is a Kotlin. Okay, so industries are using Kotlin and to some extent Java also. Only thing there are some semantic or structural differences are there between executing an Android application from Java perspective and as well as Kotlin perspective. Okay, and once you click on next, okay, so these are the options what you are going to get. I will showcase you when I'm using a tool. So you can run your applications on a phone and tablet or a wearable devices or maybe any Android TVs that you wanted. Okay, and there are so many options which are available. Okay, this is just to give you a flavor of how it looks. Okay, and as of now, the current version is API is I think it is 30. So we have to select from this options where you want to execute your applications or the programs. Since you have to execute this applications or programs in the mobile platform, so you have to use a devices. I mean to say target devices. So there are two ways in which you can do it. Either you can execute it by enabling a emulator which is being integrated in the Android Studio framework, or once you compile or you build your files, your application files, so that will be saved in a .apk file. You can connect your mobile devices, Android mobile devices, into a laptop or a desktop. Okay, from which you can execute your applications or programs. Okay, so here there are certain default the versions are available. So based on the availability of that, you can choose it. Okay, and these are the different templates which are available. Like if you want to do any basic activities, or if you want to have screen something like bottom navigation activity, okay, empty activity, something like that, or you want to create some GPS kind of application features. So like this, there are so many features are available. Maybe I will give you the demonstrations in the tool. Okay, then after doing that, okay, then you give activity name and layout name, which is by default. Okay, you need not choose do any kind of changes in this case. Okay, so this basically tells that you are creating a new activity and you would like to put some features into it. Okay, so this is basically configuration. See, if you remove the checkboxes here in this slide, uh, so it will have a default layout called as a constrained layout. That is a default layout used in the Android Studio framework. So, and if you want to put different kinds of layouts within the uh, mobile applications, okay, then so manually you have to go there and you have to change it. And similarly, this layout name. Okay, so layout name will give you a starting, the point from which your application has to start. So app compatibility. See, there are certain devices which are compatible to run certain apps, and there are certain devices which do not run. Okay, so there are differences like that. So to have a compatibility for all kinds of devices, you can just check it and click on a finish. Okay, so this is what it is, and and this is the thing. Uh, okay, see, once you start your the application, so you are going to get that the screens what I have showcased it to you. Okay, and there are three components here. Okay, so left column, that is called as a palette, where you can have some common user interface components like buttons, image view, fragment, scroll view, switch. Then if you click on text, are you able to see the wordings? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you click on text, you have plain text, password, email, phone number, and all those things. Similarly, if you click on buttons, you will have some components. So where you can just click here, okay, and drag and drop. Okay, so something like this. Okay, and the correspondingly that information will come and sit here. Okay, maybe since I have one lab program which I don't, which I wanted to showcase, that's why I'm not just doing anything here as of now. Okay, similarly you have some widgets. Okay, image view, web view, video view, calendar view, and all those things you have. Then you have layouts. So I told you there are different kinds of layouts that are available. So depending upon the type of applications, you can use whatever the layouts that you wanted. Okay, so similarly containers, you have so many categories of containers. So over the period of time you will come to know what is all these things and how it can be used in your applications. Okay, and similarly if you go to Google, you have a map view, so where you have some kind of a GPS or location based services, so you can use this. Okay, so any uh, the framework of, which you just try to develop for an applications will have two main components. One is a design and other is a code. See, I'm clicking here on the extreme right, you can see design. So when I click on design, so whatever the components that I want from here, I can just drag and drop here. Okay, I can just drag and drop here. So similarly, if I just try to click on code, okay, so there will be a code for the interfaces. See, what happens is if you are trying to write a code, based on the code, the user interface something like this will be generated. Okay, so I have some text view and I have got two buttons. If I want to have this kind of a user interface, okay, so I have to write a code like this, which is really very difficult. Very difficult to write and remember this kind of a code. So it is very easy for me to just drag and drop and put the user interface components in a given screen or in a given boundary. Okay, this is called as a boundary here. Okay, so this design components are there in what is called as activity underscore main dot XML. Okay. So these things will be available under the tab called as activity underscore main dot XML. And for this interface, now I have got one text field and I have got two buttons. For this, the code will be written at the backend by the Android Studio. Okay, like something like this. I will explain you what are these components. Okay, next. So here another is a Java file. Java file basically is used here to write a business logic. So I told you that I have got one text field and I have got two buttons. Okay. So when I click on a button, some action has to be triggered. Okay, that kind of a code or a logic has to be written under this dot at main activity dot Java. Okay, so I have showcased in my slide that, okay, so these are the, activity name for configuring it. Okay, so the same thing will be displayed here. Okay, that is how it looks. So these are the two important things. So once you start, you can just go to a design. Okay, and you can just try to drag and drop whatever the components that you require as per your programs or applications. Okay, and backend this code will be generated. Okay, and you have to go to main activity.java, and there you have to write a business logic how your component should behave here when you are running in the at the runtime. So once you write this, do this part of design and write a business logic to execute your code. Okay, so you can see there is something called as a build option. Okay, where you have to build. See, there is called as something called as bundle or APKs. Build APKs. Okay, this is the Android packaging kit. So before you just try to run this, so you have to build. So what happens is once you build, so all the required components that are required to execute your interface on the mobile platform will be made applicable. Otherwise, it is not possible to run your applications. Okay, first the build has to be successful. When you just try to build, okay, so it will give you the information that the build is successful. Okay, so then you have to run. Okay, so run app, either you can run from here or on the right top there is one more options. Once you stop, and since I have made a application to run, okay, so it is running. Otherwise here you will get one triangle kind of a mark where you click on this. You can see here there is something called as a run app. So so by clicking on that, it will be running the application. Now I told you there are two ways to do it. One is running on these emulators. Okay, yesterday I discussed about what is an emulator. The emulator is a device which can be embedded within the Android Studio framework, where you can see how the mobile application is behaving on the mobile platforms. So for that, you have to create a virtual devices. Okay, so when you click on this virtual devices, see, there are many virtual devices are available. Okay, so whichever the virtual devices that you want, you can use it. Okay, I have just installed some 2-3 virtual devices. Okay, so if you select any one of this, it will be executing on that specific platform. So if you want to create a new virtual devices, see, there is a option is available here. Pixel 3a XL, okay, Nexus 1 with what is the size of the screen, okay, what is the resolution, what is the dots per inch. Okay, so like this you can see all these things are available to execute your application on the mobile platform. Okay, so these are the things. So anyone, whatever you are choosing, so that will be applicable. See now I am executing something in a fine screen. Suppose if you want to execute the same thing in a TV, you have Android TV with say 55-inch screen and of different resolutions. Similarly, if I want to execute in some variable devices, so I have an option for this with different screen sizes and resolutions, and I have a tablet. Okay, so with the different, so 9.94-inch size, 8.86, 7.76, 10.05, okay, with the different resolutions. Okay, so like this, you can see the width of tablets and other things here. It's a diagonal measure that you can see. So in whichever the devices that you want to, run the applications, so you can understand this. Okay, so this is about, so once you do all this, the setting, you can just try to run this program. Okay, once you do that, once you start running, it will take some time, and okay, so it will showcase something like this. Okay, so I have a application here. Okay, actually I have made a run of the program, and this is how it looks. And whatever the typical operations that you do in your mobile, all these things can be done by using this. Okay, so the first application, first program. Okay, okay. Before I proceed further, do you have any clarifications?
No, sir.
Okay, so I can give only the demo. I do understand that you don't have a required, infrastructure to execute. But still, I thought I will just showcase it to you. Just a moment. The application convert. Open. Okay, are you able to see the question? You have to design an application that contains phone contacts in a vertical manner, and selected contact should appear at the top of the list with a large italic font and a blue background. Okay, so this is the the application, I mean to say the program. Okay, so how do we do this? See, first, uh, what I should do is I should go to a design. Once you do this, go to a design, and from here you can use do the text view. Just drag and drop like this, so it will be available here. Okay. Similarly, if I want to, I can create a text view like this, and you can write. See the right uh, panel or right column, third column. So there are attributes information is available. Okay, so what should be the layout width, what should be the layout height, what should be the visibility, all these things will be available. So here in this frame, I can make whatever the changes that is required to be made here. Okay, I can write, say, enter your name or something like this. So correspondingly, this will be applicable. I don't know whether are you able to see it or not. Okay, so you can create a components like this, and you can set whatever the name that you want it here. Okay, so see here I have clicked on Airtel. I have created one button by just dragging and dropping from here. So I just press a left mouse button, I will just drag here like this. Okay, a button will be formed like this. So whatever the name that I want it, I can just give that name. Okay, so like this, first I will create a text view, give a name, okay, and I create two buttons. I created two buttons. Just a moment. Now after doing this, you can see a code here. Uh, this is actually how it looks. Maybe you would like to showcase in a bigger font. Are you able to see the code clearly?
Yes, sir.
Is it visible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. I will just toggle between the screens and this. Uh, See, this is actually a design, one text view and two buttons. Okay, once you do this design, a code will be generated like this. Okay, a code will be generated. By default, it will be a constraint layout. By default, it will be constraint layout. So this is how the code looks. So you are not going to write this kind of a code. This code is being generated from the background automatically. Okay, in that way you need not worry about this. Okay, code will be generated. This is a user interface screen in the Android Studio, the code for a user interface design. Now, this XML version 1.0, because we are using activity.xml file, okay, so by default this will be a syntax. Now I told you here, when you are just trying to open this, okay, so it will give you a constrained layout. Okay, it will give you a constrained layout. Okay, so but what happens in the constraint layout? If I use a constraint layout, so interface, in my interface, on top of select the contact button, Airtel will come. On the top of Airtel button, idea will come. So it will be something like this. Okay, it will be something like this, where you cannot find it out how it is being displayed. So this is not very clear. Okay, so in that way, using a constraint layout is not feasible, since I have to use a linear layout. Okay, in a vertical manner. See, in the first row you have select the contact, in the second row you have Airtel, in third row you have Idea. So I'm using this in a vertical manner. But if I using in a horizontal manner, so I cannot see all these components in one row. So hence I'm using in a vertical manner, and program also says the same thing. Okay. Now the output of this, the program would be when I just try to click one button, it will be displayed in some color. When I click on another button, it will be displayed in another color. Okay, so this is all about the program. Okay, I have to select something from the list. I'm going to say this based on these buttons. So depending upon my selection, it has to be displayed in different colors. Okay, so there is a text view. There is an two buttons. If I click on Airtel, it will be displayed in a blue color with a and if I just try to click on this button, it should be displayed in the red color, and this will be displayed in the emulator. This is called as an emulator. So this emulator can also be called as a Android virtual device. Okay, so now earlier it was a constraint layout. So I have replaced a constraint layout with a linear layout. Okay, you are just required to replace a constraint layout with a linear layout. Then Android colon orientation. See all these things: orientation, layout width, layout height, all these things are called as attributes. Okay, so Android colon attribute name, that is a syntax, and the value. Okay, now I want to display my contents in a vertical manner, so I use orientation is equal to vertical. I can use so orientation can take value vertical, it can take value horizontal, it can take a landscape, it can take a portrait, okay, or it can take sensors. Okay, these are the different kinds of orientation. What do you mean by sensor here? So as I turn my mobile devices maybe vertically or horizontally, so correspondingly the information will be displayed. So this is a default width and height, say match parent and for width and match parent for height. That means this part from year to year, from this part to this part, it is called as match parent. So you are required to embed everything only within this specific layout. And see, and I cannot place the components here wherever that is required, maybe above this or below this. Okay, it has to be placed in only certain category, certain boundaries. So hence it's a match parent. And there are also other aspects with respect to layout and width. In fact, you can set what is the layout height and what is the layout width. And this program is executing within the context of .main activity. In my slide, I have showcased that the activity name is main activity. The scope is only within this much. Okay, main activity. So it cannot go beyond this. So it is giving the defined name scope for this specific activity. Now after that, okay, so I have created a text view. So here in this place, I have just dragged and dropped this the text component. Somewhere I will just drag like this. It is taking some name. Similarly, say button, I'm placing in some place. Okay, so like this, whatever I want password, I'm placing something. So this place is called as a initial coordinates, and this place is called as final coordinates. Okay, so within this, wherever you place your component, okay, so corresponding to this, in the code will be generated in the, see, if you see here again some new edit text, the code is being generated now. Initially I had only one text view and only two buttons. Now I have just dragged and dropped. Okay, a new component is being a code has been generated for that. Okay, so this is a ID. Okay, Android core ID, layout, gravity, text size, text style, layout editor. So all these things are the attributes of Android. Now it is giving a unique name for each component and a margin, say 30 pixels. Okay, so here uh, if I go to design, okay, so you have to leave say 30 from say top to bottom, from this place to this place. So this is what is called as 30 dpi. The hand cursor, I think you are able to see. Okay, so this is called as 30 dp. So it will give you exactly the position uh, from where it has to start. Okay, so basically it gives you information where it has to start, then what is the margin it has to leave. Okay, and where I need to place that that specific component text view. Okay, so I am placing it in the center, so I can give gravity as center, left, top, bottom, right, left. So wherever I want, I can give that. It can take the gravity can take center, left, and right, top and bottom. And what should be text within that component. So select the contact, the contact, select the contact. So the text within this. So when I'm just dragging and dropping, so there's an option to write here text. So that option will get enabled here. And I want to display the text size as 25. There are different units are there for this. Okay, depending upon the type of units, so this will change. 25 SP will be something different from 25 from DP or inches or something like that. Okay, there are different units of measurements are there. So, and I want this text style to be bold. Okay, I want this component to be available in the X and Y positions. Okay, this in the mobile platform or in the mobile screen device. Okay, so this is a text view component. Okay, so similarly, next I am creating one button. So what is that name of a button? That name of a button is what is called as a Airtel. Okay, so I have one button with the name Airtel, and that ID is say button one. ID is say button one. Okay, then I have a layout margin say 20 dp. Then it has to be placed in center. Okay, then the text is say uh, Airtel, and I have a X and Y positions. Okay, sorry this. Okay, so I can place the components wherever I require it. Similarly, I am create one more button with say button 2. Okay, and all the components remain same. So I've started with a linear layout. Okay, and I am ending with a linear layout. Okay, so whatever the interface components, maybe buttons, text field, text area, checkboxes, whatever it is, so it should be placed between the opening and the closing of the specific, the levers. Okay, once this part is done, then we have to do the actual coding. Then we have to do the actual coding. Okay. So if you look at these things, all the values for the attributes will be displayed in green color. All the values for the attributes will be displayed in green color. All the attributes will be displayed in blue color, and all the classes, say Android, will be displayed in say some purple color. Okay, so this is how exactly it looks. Okay, then after that, once you do this part, so then you have to come to a Java file. So by default, are you able to see this code? Tell me yes or no.
Yeah, sir. Yes, sir.
I think it is very small, I think. I don't know, there should be a provision to increase the size of the font. Okay, but I would like to showcase with the bigger font here.
Sir, go to Files, sir. Files Preferences.
File.
Files Settings. Fifth option, sir.
Ah,
Editor. Not that font, sir. On the left pane, editor is there, no. Below, sir, below that. Editor.
editor.
Yeah, font.
Now, is it clear now?
Yeah, it's visible, sir.
It's visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. Now, once you start this, thing, so this first row package.com.example.my application. So in the once you start creating a new, the first project, whatever the name that I give in the application name, so that name is going to come in this specific place, and it will showcase by default this file, this uh, row number 1 and row number 3 will come automatically. And since this is a 4.1 version, so you can see there is something called Android say X. So now in order to trigger an actions on the components, you have to input all these files. Okay, it is just like your header files. Okay, graphics, view, widget, and all those things. So all these things are the interfaces which are available in this graphics class. Okay, so these three components will be always available by default. Okay, so why this kind of header files are, because once you try to build a APK file, so the entire thing will be made as a zip file and it will be stored. So when you just try to install your .apk file in your devices, so all the relevant components and other informations will get compressed, and when you are executing it, so it will be decompressed and all the related files get installed in your on your devices. So hence the package is very much important. Next, then you can see public class main activity extends the, this is also an abstract class, okay, which will have a lot of other interfaces and subclasses. This is a default, the row, the 13th line is a default line, and line from line say 18, 19 and 20. So there is a life cycle for each activity. Okay, and if bundle is a class, saved instances state will give you a different states, whether are you creating it, or whether are you revoking it, or you are deleting it, or you are suspending it. Okay, so there is a life cycle. By default creates a on create method. It's a default method, okay, where your activities start from that specific method. And you know what is a usage of super? So it refers to that specific instances for that specific class. What is that class? This class is nothing but your main activity. Then you are setting a content view. Okay, so this is again a method which has this attributes. So ordered flavor will set you what kind of flavor you are using it and how it needs to be executed. Okay, and we have given the name as activity main. So this line number 1, line number 3, line number 5, line number 13, okay, line number 18, 19, 20 will be a default for all categories of all kinds of files once you start building a new thing. Now, the question says that you should create a button. When I click on that button, it should come in blue background or blue color, whatever it is. So for that, what I'm doing, I'm taking one more button here. So I'm taking a text view and creating an object say T, and I'm taking a button class and I'm creating two objects. Now I want to explicitly tell that T belongs to certain ID, button 1 belongs to certain ID, button 2 is belonging to certain ID, because when I just try to click on a specific button, okay, it has to do only that specific actions. So for example, in a mobile devices, you know that when I just try to tap or swipe, okay, or pinch it, only that specific action has to happen it. So this whatever you are seeing in this brackets, so it will be typecast. So it has to explicitly tell that it is of type buttons and do specific actions with respect to B1 and B2 objects. And find view by ID is a method where this r.id.button is button one is being passed. Now this is the setting. Now I have created objects. So I had typecasted it to explicitly tell that it is a text view and buttons. Now I have to perform actions on it. Okay, in order to perform actions on it, so I use a method called as a set click action listener. Just a minute, I will be back 2 minutes. Yeah. So uh, now we have created the objects of these buttons, and uh, now when I click on button 1, some action has to be triggered. So for that, we are using a method called as set on click listener. And for that, I am creating an instance called as view dot on click listener. So this specific method is created, instances are created. So when I click on a button one, a specific action has to happen. So under set on click listener, so I have a method called as on click. Okay, that means see every time when you just trying to click on a specific user component, since this interaction should happen between a software code and a hardware devices, okay, there should be a unique mapping. Okay, so we use a you pass a view v as an object of a view class, okay, to inbuilt method called as on click. Okay, so when I am just trying to click on a button one, what should happen? It should whatever the text there in the text view, okay, whatever the contents that are there in the text view, it should change. But here, what I am doing here is I am setting the text at the runtime. Okay, what is that runtime? I have passed a message called as a Airtel. Okay, so result will have a Airtel. I'll just tell you what it is. Now I want to set a text color and color dot blue. Okay, so I made it as italics here because I have written a code in the line number 32. Next, b1 dot get text. Okay, so here in the button one, I have a text called as Airtel. Airtel is a text. Okay, so which for a button one, uh, you have a text called as Airtel here. So I will go to main activity.java. So I will get that text. So whatever the wording Airtel that you are saying, so that will be stored in a string variable called as a result. And this, after getting the text, it has to be explicitly converted into a string because by default it always takes a integer data type. Okay, uh, so it has to be explicitly converted into a string data type. So that will be stored in a string variable called as result. Next, I want to make my wordings should be in the italics. You are seeing this output here. See, it is in italics. Okay, Airtel some number. Similarly, idea it is in some number. I mean to say in italics format. Okay, so I am overcoming. Okay, the default typeface style, and I make it making it as italic. Otherwise, it will be normal. Then I am setting a text result. Result is what here? It is Airtel plus plus means here concatenation. Okay, then the number whatever I have given it here. So that will be being displayed. Now you are just closing this on click method. Then you are closing this set on click listener. Then you are closing this other option, okay, other brackets, whichever you have opened it, and put the semicolon here. Okay, so you are closing this, instances. Okay, after this is the first button. Okay, this is the first button. So when I'm just trying to click on a first button, you can see it is displayed in the blue font. So Airtel is a text which is stored in a string variable result, and the number is being displayed. Okay, so similarly, button 2, you can see button 2. So I want to set the text color as red. Okay, and I want to get that text, and I'm displaying it. Okay, the same thing is happening here also. So once you do that, you have to go to a build, Okay, then there is what is called as an APK file here. So you have to click on this APK file. So once you click on your APK files, okay, so you can see at the bottom there is a utility called as a Gradle. You can say it's a grade build, say running. It's a utility which helps to generate all the related files. One of the important files is JSON. Okay, and you can see on the right bottom, you can see build APK. APK is generated successfully for one module. So if you just try to click on, see there is a locate or analyze the APK. If you go to locate, you can see app.debug.apk and output-metadata.jsn file. Okay, this file will be created and it will be packed and zipped. Okay, and when you can just connect this to a mobile and you can just download your .apk file into it. But there are, so if you want to run it in a mobile devices, you can connect this into a mobile devices, and when you are trying to run this program, so you have to go to AVD manager, that is nothing but Android virtual devices manager. Okay, you have to go there and you have to create target devices. So if your mobile is connected, okay, then it will show you that option like under new hardware profiles. Okay, then you can connect to it and you can run your .apk files in the mobile devices. So that is possible to do it. Okay, so this is all about the the first program, and see here whatever the options that you want, you can do all these things. Okay. So there are a lot of options are available here. You can see here, you can see there is a orientations, okay, that you can see. Okay, and you can also increase your volumes and other things here. You can see here. Maybe if you have integrated any audio kind of a devices and other things, so all these things can be made applicable here. Okay, see messages. So like how you are using mobile, so all these things can be can be done here. Okay, so this is the first lab program. It's a very simple program. So where you are required to design applications which contains a phone contacts in vertical manner and selected contact appears at top of the list with large italic font and a blue background. Okay, so like this you can create so many applications, okay, by using this kind of a mobile virtual environment. But it is in fact very slow. Okay, so file you can also see here project. So you can see there is a lot of files which is being generated. Okay, since it's a Java related file, okay, so you can see a lot of files which is being generated. If you just try to click on each of this, the applications, you can see the inbuilt code written for this. So you are not writing any of this, the codes. See, there's labeled, so many options will be available here. Activity main.xml, okay. So launchers and all those things. Okay, so this is one thing. And whenever you are trying to click on a new project, please go to this file new and go to new project. So this is how exactly it looks. Phone or tablet or wearable devices, automotive, okay, any kind of uh, uh, applications that you want to develop for uh, uh, driverless cars, etc., like that. So you can choose like this, say some empty activity. There are different levers are available. Okay, full screen mode, then Google ads activity, Google Maps, login activity. Okay, so like this, there are a lot many templates are available depending upon the type of applications that you are using it. Okay, so you can just try to choose a specific template. Since I wanted to build from the scratch, okay, so I use this empty activity, and you can just try to click on say next project. So it will show you the name and the and com.example.my application. So and I'm saving it in location users administrator Android Studio project under my application. Okay, then I can use if I want to use Kotlin, I can use Kotlin. If I want to use Java, I can use Java. Since all of you are aware of what is Java, so I suggest you can go for this Android. I mean to say you can go for this Java. Okay, then next try to click on say finish. You can see it is taking some time to load the project. Okay, so this is a default page what you are going to get. This is a default page what you are going to get. So here you can see this things will be common. By default, this part of code will be available. Okay, so whatever code that you are going to write, okay, should be within this. Okay, so make sure at the last you will have two braces. All logics is being put on within a create method. Okay, and this is a bracket which close for this specific opening bracket. Okay, so this is all about today's lab. Okay, so I want somebody who can try if you are having a laptop and let me know if you have any kind of clarifications or other things. So any questions? So all this, the classes needs to be imported. Any questions you have? Any questions? Any clarifications? See, you have to practice this. Just by listening, it is not possible to understand. Anyway, I will just share this program with you. Those who are having laptops, you just try to execute this program. And those who are not having it, just try to take it from somebody and just try to, um, practice it. Yeah, any clarifications that you have? Okay, answer this questions in the chat box. My first question would be, what is the default layout in the Android Studio framework? Okay, you can just answer it in the chat box. What is the default layout for Android Studio framework? Please, all of you answer it. My next question would be, what is APK stands for? What does the APK stands for? So, anybody has any clarifications?